Hi everyone, welcome to the live session today to talk about how to heal and break the cycle of toxic relationships. Welcome everyone. For those of you who know me, my name is Melissa Benitez Ceja. I'm a relationship coach and personal development coach. I also can be found at YouTube and Facebook under Sparrow Relationship Coaching. And hello to everyone out there. I'm glad to see that you are joining us, and I'm so thankful to be able to have this time to talk about this very important topic. There are so many people out there that are struggling to get through toxic relationships and just don't understand why is this happening. Why is this happening over and over and over? Okay, so we're going to bring hopefully a little insight today on why it happens, how to break the cycle, what exactly it comes from, and then how to move forward in the healthiest way possible. Okay guys, so I am the the admin for the group that you are viewing this in, which is Simple Relationship Advice and Personal Development. So you can contact me there or on YouTube in order to get some more support and guidance in whatever relationship or personal development goals that you may have at this time. So today, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about the topic of toxic relationships and the cycle. If you have ever survived a relationship where you were mistreated just to get involved with a new but very similar individual, or if you feel like you end up with the same negative relationship patterns over and over, then this message is for you. We're going to talk about why you have this toxic attraction, why it's not your fault, how to make sure you will never get into a toxic relationship again, and then how to attract the right match. So, let's go ahead and jump right in. Thank you to everybody who is here. At the end of this video, I'll be posting this on YouTube. So super excited to be able to share this with other people who may benefit from the information that may already be in pain. So toxic relationships are characterized by insecurity, abuse of power and control, demandingness, selfishness, criticizing, negativity, dishonesty, distrust, demeaning comments and attitudes, jealousy, self-centeredness. If you only have one or two of these in your relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's toxic, but typically there are multiple characteristics like that in order to really deem it as a toxic relationship. However, it really doesn't matter what label somebody else will put on your relationship. If you feel like you're being mistreated, then please find support and guidance. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about my own story. I had a very traumatic experience with a narcissistic boyfriend shortly after my divorce about 10 years ago. And I know now that I'm older and I understand narcissism that my father actually had narcissistic characteristics as well. Now, he passed away when I was very young, so I only have a few memories of him. But what's interesting is that intellectually, I was not even aware of the effect that my dad's narcissism had on me. But it still affected the type of person that I was attracted to. So I have done a lot of research on this topic. And what I've learned and what I talk about in my coaching is that there are real scientific reasons to why we are drawn to the very people that are the worst for us. It's interesting, isn't it? And terrifying. A big reason why they draw us in is because they embody the worst emotional characteristics of our primary caregivers. Even though we may be adults, we often have unresolved childhood wounds due to betrayal, neglect, manipulation, abuse. These are from our caregivers. Subconsciously, we seek the healing of these wounds in our intimate relationships as we get older. But that means that we're most attracted to the people who can wound us in exactly the same way we were wounded in our childhood. Our psyche seeks to recreate the crime, the original crime that happened, and then save us by changing the ending. That's what the hope is in our subconscious. So the child in us believes that if the original perpetrators or their current replacements, which is who we're currently dating now, if they finally change their mind, if they finally apologize, if they finally make up for that terrible betrayal of trust, then we can escape from our prison of unworthiness. Our conscience itself is drawn to the positive qualities that we yearn for, but our subconscious draws us to the qualities which hurt us the most as children. So again, it's a terrifying idea, but it is backed by science. So, do you know what this means? It means that it's not your fault. It means that these terribly damaging and traumatic relationships are happening because of the programming that you got as a child. It means that to allow the cycle to continue would mean allowing our childhood abusers or neglectors or betrayers to keep controlling us for the rest of our lives. So I don't know about you, but when I realized that, that really cut me to the core. Because I know I'm worth more than that. And whether you believe it or not, you're worth more than that too. But I will say that no amount of therapy, no amount of coaching or counseling, no amount of digging up your past will break this cycle all by itself unless you are truly ready to make a huge change. Because it takes consistent hard work, focus, a lot of self-compassion, and the right guide to make it stick and stick for good. So there may be plenty of you out there saying, yeah, Melissa, I already knew everything that you just said. This is nothing new, right? I already tried it. So my first question would be, did you truly commit 100%? If you feel like you committed, but it still didn't work, then I would ask, did the person guiding you use the right tools for you? When I work with people on facing the trauma of their past that is contributing to their current toxic relationship cycle, we cater every single technique to that person, to what is appropriate for their particular wounds, right? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. We do things like mentally and verbally facing the person who mistreated you as if they were right there in front of you. We work through each and every emotion that comes up and address the person or people directly, telling them how what they did made you feel and why. Along with that, I teach you how to accept, identify, and release your very intense emotions, which you can end up doing on your own throughout life after you are taught. We also connect with your inner child. I teach you how to comfort and console and care for them, how to build a lasting relationship, how to communicate with them, and begin building that relationship that is more fulfilling than you can ever imagine, and it also brings permanent healing. This is key. We also learn a system of anxiety-reducing techniques and how to rewire your trigger specifically to be able to respond rather than react. We go through how to control the thoughts that pop into your mind so that you are no longer victim to your own thinking, and get rid of those awful dreams that are haunting your subconscious. So these are the few of the things that we do. But all of these things are just the beginning, because we all know that working through the trauma is just the first half. From there, we have to begin filling that void with all of the wonderful things, the amazing things that you now have access to in your life. First and foremost, we begin, the most powerful step often gets skipped or it kind of gets minimized. And that first step is learning self-care and self-love. People kind of toss this to the wayside. This is the foundation. Okay, there are other things that you build on top of this, but if you don't know how to love yourself and you don't do it regularly, then you're not going to move forward in the way that you desire. We begin practicing this from day one. We also start looking at your passions. What makes you feel alive, and how do we pursue that? What gifts and talents do you have, and how can you capitalize on those and share those with others? We build true confidence, the kind that comes from within, does not waver. You will learn how to establish healthy boundaries and maintain them, which is key, right? Which goes along with realizing also your inner power, which everybody has access to, and learning exactly how to harness that power. That is where you really start to see a huge shift from being a victim to in charge of your life. So you can imagine what a healing and satisfying transformation can take place from learning all these tools and truly redefining who you are. It's not that you're changing who you are. You are not becoming a different person. It's that you are now on the path towards becoming the you that you were always meant to be. No more negative voices telling you how worthless you are running on in your brain. You have fortified your mind like a steel fortress, strong and impenetrable. No more falling prey to manipulators. The empowered you will be able to spot these red flags 1,000 miles away, and you will believe in yourself so much that no insult or sneaky tactic will ever work on you. No more needy energy, because you will love yourself so much more than anyone you choose to have in your life will simply be an added benefit. Now, there are people out there who are still in a toxic relationship right now, and they want to see if they can make it work. Is it possible? It is possible. Again, the right techniques, tools, and dedication, with all that, it can be done. Changing the nature of toxic relationships means that at least one person changes the system by building a healthy relationship to yourself through the techniques that I was just talking about. This will change the way that the relationship works. It will either aggravate the other person because you aren't engaging in the usual cycle of toxicity, or it will inspire them to change. Distance will naturally be created through new change and boundaries, and this is a thing. Have you ever noticed that as you grow and become a better person, a better version of yourself, that some people just naturally grow distant from you? Healthy distance is okay to have with someone who just isn't getting it. It doesn't mean that you love them any less. But it means that you love yourself more. As you become healthy, you shift and your world shifts as well. I want to talk about one last benefit to this amazing hard work that you've done to break the cycle. Because yes, of course, you want to heal from everything you've been through, but then what? Yes, you will not need a partner as much as when you were unhealthy, but you may decide that you want, right? So how do you attract the right match after doing the work to heal and get healthy? Well, the awesome payoff for all of this amazing dedication that you did is that you will naturally attract a partner that is at your common level of health and self-care. So what does that mean? Attracting at your common level of emotional health means that you have done the inner work necessary to heal your feelings and shame and insecurities. It means that you know how to fill yourself with love and share your love with others. It means that you have stopped abandoning yourself and have learned how to love yourself, which means that you take responsibility for your for your feelings, rather than avoiding your feelings and making other people responsible for them. When you learn to value yourself and take responsibility for your feelings, you are no longer attracted to someone who emotionally abandons themselves. You are drawn to people who also value themselves and want to share love rather than take love. You will no longer end up with someone who blames, withdraws, judges, or sees themselves as a victim. You will just not find this person attractive, as they are not at your common level of emotional health. As we know, based on the law of attraction, like attracts like. People who are positive, open, secure, giving, caring, and kind to themselves and others are not attracted to people who are closed, negative, and needy of approval and attention. So if you have gone through therapy or worked with a coach, and you are not sure if you have done enough to get to that place of attracting a healthy partner, then ask yourself this. Are you present and open rather than stuck in your mind, avoiding your feelings? Are you open to learning about what your feelings are telling you and giving them a voice rather than running away from them with various addictions and self-judgments? Have you learned to access a real source of love rather than expecting someone else to be your higher power? Have you learned to take loving action on your own behalf rather than expecting others to do this for you? These are some of the signs that you have healed from your past trauma and are in much healthier place, making it the right time to be able to attract a healthy, loving, giving, caring, kind partner. What great news, right? For all that hard work and enduring all that pain, now you have a wonderful chance at a completely different life. So if you want to take advantage of this kind of transformation and healing in your life, find a coach. Start today. You have nothing to lose and so much more than you could ever imagine to gain. Feel free to reach out to me on YouTube or Facebook at Sparrow Relationship Coaching, or you can message me directly, and make sure always to take care of you guys.